Do most of the animals here come from other zoos, or do you have some that come from the wild, or how have you acquired most of your animals?
Most of zoo animals now, and this hasn't been, 20 years ago, there were a lot of animals coming into zoos from wild populations still. And it was a lucrative business. Fortunately, the evolution of zoos has really made us become much more credible and responsible facilities. And now most of the populations are always strive to have healthy populations genetically and numbers in zoos, so that we can do all the trading we need to and keeping the populations healthy from one zoo to another. So there's a management group, as I said, from penguins, that's based out of the Milwaukee Zoo. We have a couple populations of animals, markhor goats and white-handed gibbons, that we manage from this zoo. And so they keep track of every individual that's in the population, captive population. And when somebody, has a pair and they lose one for whatever reason, they need to repair that animal. They'll let the manager know, and then they look through the whole population, find out who might have an extra one, or when there's going to be reproduction that could produce another one that would be recommended to go to that other zoo. There's no money transacted anymore. You don't buy and sell animals like you did 20 and 30 years ago. We pay for all the pre-shipping testing for the veterinary procedures to make sure they're healthy before they leave. And then the receiving zoo pays for the shipment of the animal to get to their facility.
Huh,
so interesting. There's a lot of paperwork that goes into it as well.
So that comes with being part of this
AZA.
Zoo group.
Yep. AZA.
AZA.
Yep.
And that comes with being accredited is
that's right.
Sending animals between zoos. And
yep. And it isn't a question of whether you want to participate or not. If you have these animals, you have to participate in the program. And it's taken all the bias out of, if I wanted gorillas because I liked gorillas, that the reality of that just isn't, we don't do that anymore. There's so many steps and things that have to be planned prior to getting new species or moving any animal.
Nice.
Do you ever trade with zoos that aren't AZA accredited?
It's a great question. That's kind of been all over the place depending upon the species of animal. Mm-hmm. Right now, if it's an critically endangered species, we don't deal with anybody except accredited zoos. And the main reason for that is the heritage or genetics of that individual animal are unknown. So to bring it into a zoo when we know the complete lineage of all our animals, to try to pair that with one of ours would be really irresponsible. So typically we don't deal with it. Common species, a lot of birds and reptiles that there's just, they're not endangered and there's just lots of them you can deal with. AZA zoos can't send animals to non-accredited facilities. They can only bring them in from non-accredited facilities.
That makes sense.
Interesting. Are there any programs or initiatives that this zoo is participating in that helps reduce the carbon footprint or helps more sustainably conduct your practices or anything like that?
Mm-hmm. Right now, we are, as a county facility, we have put into place 5 big green infrastructure projects at the zoo. Which we're saving about 13 million gallons of water, $50,000 or $60,000 worth of water that we're recapturing stormwater here and reusing in the exhibits and using for the animals and filtering and so forth. And it's a very passive system with biofiltration from plant material, porous pavements out in the parking lot with bioswales that slow all that water down. The rain gardens down at the front of the zoo, which of course are covered with snow right now, but they've been really successful. We have underground cisterns that we capture water into using the bear pool and some other places. There's a green roof on top of the elephant barn, so that 12,000 square foot barn has a complete green roof. Some really cool birds have been nesting up there, which is kind of cool. So we're trying certainly electricity. We've been switching to LED lights throughout the facility. more passive filtrations, biofiltration instead of manual or physical. So we're always looking to do better, and instead of just talking about conservation and sustainability, we're actually trying to implement a lot of that here and educate people how they can do it even in their own homes.